Okay, everybody. So I want to keep this quick. My videos have been kind of lengthy, so I'm going to try to keep this about 10, maybe 15 minutes. We're just going to quickly go over basically how my day went. I traded AMD, and I was trading calls and puts. I'm going to show you the chart in a moment. Let's just look at the overall account, and let me show you guys where we're actually at. So in the account, in the options trading account, we're up $35 on the day, which would be about 3.1%, almost 3.2%. So definitely not bad. Better than I thought it was going to turn out. I've got a little bit of a story I'm going to try to get through here. Better than I thought it was going to be, though. I'm definitely happy with this. You know, that's basically what I'm looking for, is the consistency. Okay, that, you know, if I can do that every day, 3%, 4%, that percent dollar-wise is going to grow the bigger my account gets. You know, and you can see, like, we've taken the account now up to $1,159. So we're on our way to about $1,200. And it feels good. It feels really, really good. Now, today was definitely one of the most stressful days I've had trading in a while. I was in front of the computer all day long. All right. So I'm going to bring up the chart. I have the AMD chart right here in my Thinkorswim. And I'll show you the level 2 as well. So we're going to go over my trades and then just, you know, kind of wrap it up and get on out of here. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to give it a like if you get, you know, value out of this, or if these kind of videos help you, or if you're entertained by them. Definitely give the video a like, and comment down below. What are you trading? What are you into? What is going on with your investments or trading? You know, within your investment trading journey. I always enjoy hearing back from you guys. So here we go. All right. We traded AMD. I'm going to take the level 2 off for now, but I wanted to show you this real quick. This is basically what level 2 is. It's the bids and the asks, and then you've got the time and sales up here. This is what I trade a lot of the times. Like, I'm actually looking at the level 2, not necessarily the chart. Now, I need to incorporate more patterns into my strategy, but a lot of the times I'm just looking at the bid and the ask, and I'm basically trading the spread of these options. But I'm going to take this off for now because I want to go over you know, I want to go over my trades. I have all the screenshots up on my Instagram page, so you can see exactly where I was. I'm going to kind of just sort of gloss over it here. So as you can see, we have a big supply zone up here at the top, and we have a demand zone here at the bottom. Now, at the very end of the day, it broke the demand zone, and I actually profited. I made a profit. I dug myself into a hole, which I'll explain in a moment, but I came out with a profit. Should have held on to it a little bit longer, but, you know, that's hindsight trading. I didn't know exactly what the stock was going to do, and I needed to just secure my profits, right? So here we go. All right. I got in on this scalp right here. My first 2 trades, I was up. I was up about $26, right? So it was actually about 35 minus the commission. So I was maybe up about $30 or so, and it was 2 trades, right? I bought call options. So it was first thing in the morning. I noticed that the stock, let me get my my pen here. I noticed the stock was in, you know, it was trending down towards this shaded area here, which is the demand zone. And I got in right here on this green candle, and I exited on this green candle. You can see all the screenshots on my Instagram, and I have the, you know, I've got the trade confirmations right here. Like, you can see this first trade, right? Let me open up the trade history real quick. The first trade, yeah, 956 out at 956. 938 out at 938. So, you know, you can see that the first 2 trades were quick. right? So I got into this candle, got in and out. Then I think it was this candle right here again, got in and out. Let me just check that time real quick. Yeah, 9:36 and then 9:38. So the first two trades were easy scalps, right? 9:36 is this green candle here, and 9:38 is this green candle. So these were very quick scalps, right? I could have held them a little bit longer, but you know, when I'm scalping, I'll even scalp one bar, right? If I can profit off of one bar and get in and out, you know, I'll do that. I need to get better because I could have held this a little bit longer and probably profited 2 or 3 times as much. But I was up $26. Now, what happened then was greed kind of kicked in, and I knew that like I was up, right? I was up about $30. You know, that would have been about 3%, maybe 2.5% or so of my account, 3% of my account. I knew I should have just quit right then and there. You know, after 2 trades, I'm up green for the day. I should have just walked away. I didn't. I started thinking, you know, I'm entitled to more than $26. I started thinking like, oh, this is so easy. You know, I'm so good at this, right? 2 trades in and out. And I was thinking I was going to do that again. Well, by the time I took my 3rd trade, I wasn't able to do that. I took a 3rd, 4th, and a 5th trade, and they were all losers. And I'll just briefly show you real quick on the chart. So I got in. I was just on the wrong side of the market, right? I was buying calls where I should have bought puts. I think I got in immediately, like around here somewhere. I bought a couple of put options. Hold on, let me just pull up the trades at 9:45. Yeah, 9:45 and 9:49, and then I sold at 9:52 for a loss. So yeah. 9:45 right here, and then 9:52 right about here on this green candle. You know, I don't really know what I was thinking. I shouldn't have been so hasty, right? I kind of jumped into both of these trades right around here. I jumped into it and I bought calls where I should have bought puts. I shouldn't have bought anything because we were trading in between a very big demand zone down here and the supply zone that I had mapped out before I mapped out this, you know, this, let me actually take this off because that was just a little daily supply zone. There's a huge supply zone right up here. This is what I had marked off because we had a period of consolidation over here with a huge downtrend. So that means there's institutional sellers up there. I shouldn't be trading in between demand zones and supply zones, but I did. I was hasty. I thought, you know, maybe this was just a little pullback here and it was going to continue its upward trajectory and maybe blast through this supply zone because this is a pretty big demand zone. If you go to the, let me show you the 10-day chart, right? This area right here. Yeah. This area right here, right? This is a very big supply zone. It looks even bigger. Well, yeah, you have this right here. See, this is another supply zone. So, or I'm sorry, demand zone, right? Because a period of consolidation with a very big upward trajectory. That's obviously a huge, you know, there's huge demand at that price level, which is about 79 or so. So going back to my trades here, going back to my chart, you know, where are we here? Let's see, I caught that quick scalp. Yeah, so I probably entered around here and I had to get out, right? Because I was on the wrong side of the market. I did that several times, right? I did this several times throughout this. When I should have been buying puts, if I was going to enter at all, I was buying calls, and I did this probably 2 or 3 times. So by the 5th trade, I'm down about $50. Okay, and I'm stressing because I've been on a green streak, and I really wanted to come out green today, and I was already up. You know, I could have walked away with my $26, you know, and you got to appreciate that stuff, especially with a small account like I have, you know, under $25,000. To make 26 bucks, that's huge. That's huge. I should have just walked away. Maybe came back in the afternoon for a third trade, but it was a mixture of greed in my head. It was a mixture of greed and just being hasty, being too eager, being sloppy, trading in between the supply and demand zones, just not following my strategy. And so I messed up. So then I decided I was going to rectify the situation. I'm like, well, we're in a downtrend, right? So I was thinking it's going to go all the way through this demand zone. So I got puts. What time? Where's the timestamp here? I bought 3 puts, one at 10:08, 10:09, and 10:18. So the morning is not quite halfway over, but where is it? All right, so 10:18. So right here, right? This leg right here is where I bought puts. And again, I was on the wrong side of the market and the trade quickly reversed on me. And I broke my rule and held on to the loser. Now, there's a couple of reasons why I held on. Now, make a long story short, it was actually a happy ending. I ended up getting out of all 3 trades down here, and these 2 I got out, not only getting my money back that I had lost, but also for about a $35 profit. So the account, like I said, ended up in the green, up 3.2% almost. But I had to hold this all day, and it was extremely sketchy. And I'm still kind of upset about the way I traded. It was very sloppy. I was not trading well at all. And I shouldn't have even traded this because it was in between a huge demand zone and a huge supply zone. So I mapped out this supply zone right here, right? Because we had a balancing candle. We had a balancing candle right here. This one right here, this like white doji candle. That's what I call a balancing candle, right? You could even make it here. Let me here. Hold on a second. Let me remove that. You could even chart it like this, right? Because you can see there's an agreement on the price in these 3 minutes here, right? 1, 2, 3. There's kind of an agreement on the price. So you could have even charted it right there. And so I'm, holding this. Hold on. Let me get my arrow back. I like having the pencil, but it's hard to get in and out of these. Okay. So I charted this live while I was trading, right? This supply zone, right? Well, this is the way I charted it, like this. So while this was developing, right? Because I had bought puts like over here. While this chart was unfolding, I could see that it was having trouble breaking this supply zone. And we had a heavy supply zone up here. And then if we go to let's go to the 5-minute chart, you've got a lot of very heavy supply zones. So there is a lot of institutional pressure to sell this stock and keep the price down. That is the main reason I held on to this losing trade. Now, I want to take your eyes on, this is the 5-minute chart, on this area right here, okay? This is what's called a head and shoulders pattern. So I'm holding this losing trade. I'm kind of freaking out about it, but I'm like, let's just see what happens. For some reason, I don't know, I had a gut feeling that somehow, that somehow the trade was going to work out in my favor. I don't know if it was Providence or God or what, but I just felt like everything was going to be okay. And if you look at this area here, 1, 2, 3, that's actually called a head and shoulders pattern, and it's extremely bearish, right? This is a bearish pattern, and then you can see the stock took a turn to the downside. Let me get my my pencil back. I like having the pencil. It makes me feel like like I'm some kind of instructor. You've got the shoulder 1, the head, shoulder 2, and then bam, to the downside. So I'm like, by the time that happened, I was like, okay, I'm just going to hold this because this is now bearish. And the stock was also under the VWAP. Because remember, I also have WeBull open and I have the indicators over there. So the stock is bearish. And yes, I bought puts down here. I'm still like down on my puts, but I'm like, I'm going to hold on to it. Well, the stock kind of started reversing on me again, but it was still under the VWAP and it continued to go down. Make a long story short, it was a very stressful day, but I held until the very end and we finally broke through the demand zone that I had mapped out. And as soon as we broke through the demand zone and I was starting to, basically come out even, right, break even, I sold one of the put options. Because I had bought 3. I had bought 3 of them on this leg up right here. Should have bought calls, but I'm an idiot and I'm not an idiot, but I was trading like an idiot today and I bought puts right here. So I held it all the way until the end and I'm watching the stock pretty much the whole day. Like, yeah, I took a couple breaks and stuff. Like I went to go eat and, go to the bathroom and stuff, but I held it all the way down here and then you can see I got out here. Then I got out here. That would have been about, 314 and then 320. Now, in hindsight, I could have held on a little bit longer, but you don't know what the stock is going to do. For all you know, the stock could reverse on you and I would be back in the hole. So when I had my profits, when the profits were locked in, I took my profits and I got the F out of there. But I admit that today I traded horribly. This was not an ideal situation. The first 2 trades were pretty good, right? I could have held up a little bit longer on that leg up, but I was in and out of those trades literally within a minute, okay? And, if I had bought more contracts, like on one contract, I made half of $26. Let's just say it was about, I don't know, like $12, right? On one contract. So if I had bought 4 contracts or 5 contracts or 10 contracts, right, that would have easily been $100, even getting in and out within a candle. And eventually, as my account gets bigger and as I fund my account, the plan is to scale into these positions a little bit more, to buy five contracts at a time. But I shouldn't have been trading in between the supply and demand zones. You've got to map those out, especially if you're going to be day trading. You have to map out the supply and demand zones. Even if you're going to be swing trading, or doing more like core trading, map out your supply and demand zones. I was trading in between those, which is a big no-no, right? I should have waited. I should have followed this. And this is a new stock. I've actually never traded AMD before. So I think that had something to do with the fact that, I just kind of messed up. First 2 trades went okay, but the rest of the day was stressful, very, very stressful. And at one point in time, I was down over $100. But I don't know what it was. I saw the head and shoulders pattern, and then the stock did start to move in my direction. We had a lot of supply. I don't recommend holding losers, and I did break my rule, right? I'm unhappy that I broke the rule, but I did come out green. And the reason I broke the rule was because of the head and shoulders pattern. Also, the heavy amounts of supply zones that we had. There was huge institutional pressure selling this stock, keeping the stock's price down. And, eventually I made it out and it turned out to be okay. But what I learned is that, if I'm up after the second trade, I should really just walk away, at least catch my breath, kind of, because you don't know how exhausting it is to enter a trade, like psychologically to enter a trade and, watch the level 2. I mean, it's draining. It's exhausting to do this. It's very stressful. So when I was up after 2 trades, I should have walked away. That's something that's in my plan. That's in my strategy, is to not overtrade. Today, I definitely overtraded. And when I took the 3rd trade, I should have just walked away when I was down. Right. But I gave back my profits from the morning, and I was kind of pissed about that. This video is running a little bit over 15 minutes, but, I just want you to understand the psychology, because I really think trading is 90% psychology. It's like 10% technicals. And so I saw the head and shoulders pattern developing under all of these supply zones. And I don't know what it was. I just had a feeling that I was going to be okay today, that I was going to make it out alive. I had several chances to break even and still chose to hold the stock and wait it out. And it reversed on me again. And I just waited it out all day long. And it did finally break that demand zone. And I figured that, it would break this demand zone right here, because when you look at my 5-day chart, right, we've got heavy supply zone up here, 2 supply zones up here, a supply zone up here. It was building supply zones as I was trading it. So there was just so much pressure, and this is obviously a bearish stock. It was under the VWAP, and I got out alive, so I'm lucky. I definitely thank God. I think God was with me today through my trade. It wasn't all me, because I got that feeling that something inside me just said, hold on to this. You're going to be okay, but don't ever freaking trade like that again. So I'm never going to trade in between the supply and demand zones like I did. I'm going to wait for the patterns to confirm if we're rejecting a supply zone or a demand zone, or being supported, I should say, at a demand zone. And, a couple of those losing trades in the beginning, I held on to them too long. I didn't want to admit they were losing trades. And, I traded poorly, right? This was a very poor trade session, but yeah, it still came out in the green. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll definitely try to get back to you. I'm actually going to gather all the questions I've been getting in a video, and I'm going to answer them directly. You guys have been asking some fantastic questions, but I'll try to get back to you in text form, or maybe you'll see a video about it. Follow me on Instagram. If you want to listen to my podcast, it's Charles Marlowe on iTunes, Spotify, all that good stuff. We're on Bitchute. We're all over social media. So definitely leave your feedback down below. Any questions, let me know. Give the video a like. And as always, this is CMC Broadcasting. I'll see you next time. God bless.